Hello! Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my second video in my previous video. I tell my purpose of this YouTube channel in this video. We will complete our war mission of Call of Duty 4. The voice of game is muted due to YouTube community guidelines. If you are new, then subscribe this channel. I hope you will enjoy and you will learn how to complete any mission. In very easy way, we will talk about General Douglas MacArthur, who was General of USA Army. So, let us start this story. General Douglas MacArthur, born on January 26, 1880, in Little Rock, Arkansas, was a seminal figure in 20th century military history, influencing both U.S. and global military strategy through his leadership during World War II and the Korean War. His legacy encompasses a blend of military brilliance, controversial decisions, and transformative impact on post-war Asia. Early life and career. Douglas MacArthur was the son of Arthur MacArthur Jr., a highly decorated officer who won the Medal of Honor during the American Civil War. Growing up in a military family, MacArthur was steeped in the values and discipline of the armed forces from an early age. He attended the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, where he excelled academically and graduated first in his class in 1903. His early career saw him involved in various military assignments, including service in the Philippines and participation in the Mexican expedition against Pancho Villa. World War I. During World War I, MacArthur served with distinction as the Chief of Staff of the 42nd Division, known as the Rainbow Division. His leadership in combat operations and his innovative approaches to battlefield strategy earned him numerous decorations, including the Distinguished Service Cross and the Silver Star. His experiences during the war cemented his reputation as a skilled and daring leader. Interwar years. In the years between the wars, MacArthur's influence grew. In 1930, he was appointed Chief of Staff of the U.S. Army. His tenure was marked by efforts to modernize and reform the Army, addressing issues such as outdated equipment and inadequate training. His tenure also included significant work in military education and strategy, laying the groundwork for future conflicts. World War II. As World War II began, MacArthur was stationed in the Philippines, where he served as the commander of United States Army forces in the Far East. Following the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, the Philippines were quickly targeted. Despite fierce resistance, MacArthur's forces were eventually forced to retreat to the Bataan Peninsula and Corregidor Island. The situation became dire, and MacArthur was ordered to evacuate by President Franklin D. Roosevelt. His departure was marked by his famous promise, "I shall return." MacArthur's strategic acumen was evident as he took command in Australia and began planning a counter-offensive against Japanese forces. His leadership in the Pacific Theater included the successful execution of Operation Cartwheel, which isolated the Japanese stronghold at Rabaul and secured key islands. His island-hopping strategy, which bypassed heavily fortified Japanese positions, allowed the Allies to advance steadily while minimizing casualties. On October 20, 1944, MacArthur fulfilled his promise to return to the Philippines with a dramatic landing at Leyte. This operation was a turning point in the war in the Pacific, leading to the Battle of Leyte Gulf, one of the largest naval battles in history. The victory significantly weakened the Japanese Navy and paved the way for the eventual liberation of the Philippines. Post-war Japan. After Japan's surrender in 1945, MacArthur was appointed Supreme Commander for the Allied Powers, SCAP. In this role, he oversaw the occupation and reconstruction of Japan, implementing widespread reforms that reshaped Japanese society. These included democratization measures, such as drafting a new constitution, promoting civil liberties, and encouraging economic recovery. His efforts were instrumental in transforming Japan into a stable, democratic, and economically prosperous nation. Korean War. The outbreak of the Korean War in 1950 saw MacArthur return to prominence. As commander of the United Nations Command, he led a successful amphibious landing at Incheon in September 1950. This operation was a masterstroke of strategy, turning the tide of the conflict and leading to the recapture of Seoul. The UN forces pushed north into North Korea, advancing toward the Yalu River, but faced a massive counteroffensive when China entered the war in late 1950. MacArthur's approach to the war became increasingly contentious. His desire to expand the conflict into China and his public criticism of President Harry S. Truman's policies led to significant friction between the two. MacArthur's call for a more aggressive stance, including the potential use of nuclear weapons, was at odds with Truman's more cautious approach. This discord culminated in Truman's decision to relieve MacArthur of his command in April 1951, a move that sparked considerable controversy and debate. Later years and legacy following his dismissal, MacArthur returned to the United States, where he delivered a farewell address before Congress, famously declaring, "Old soldiers never die, they just fade away." Despite his retirement, his influence on military strategy and international relations remained significant. MacArthur spent his later years writing his memoirs and reflecting on his career. His strategic innovations and leadership during World War II and the Korean War left a lasting impact on military doctrine and international policy. His tenure in Japan, marked by significant reforms, shaped the nation's post-war trajectory and contributed to its rise as a global economic power. General Douglas MacArthur died on April 5, 1964, leaving behind a complex and enduring legacy. His contributions to military strategy, his role in shaping the post-war world, and his controversial decisions ensure that his place in history remains both prominent and debated. His life and career are a testament to the profound impact that one individual can have on global events and military history.